It's August. I'm at lunch with my grandparents. My grandparents are from Brooklyn. So for them, some of the 3 and 4 and 6-letter words that make a movie R-rated for them were just kind of like commas. We ordered lunch. The first thing my grandmother did, she puts 13 pills out. I'm like, Bub, why all the pills? She said, well, baby, the first one's for my sugar, the second one's for my pressure, the third one's for my cholesterol, fourth one's for my kidney, the fifth one's for the side effects of the first one, the sixth one's for the side effects of the second one, and on and on. And my grandfather, he wasn't a formally educated man, but he always taught us life lessons. And one of the most important ones I always remember was, if you can't make it make common sense, it cannot be true. And from that point on, that didn't make sense. And I saw my bub's health trajectory go downhill really quick. Oral medication after oral medication, dialysis, amputation, until about 2 months after that lunch, Bub was up in heaven with all the angels. My name's Dr. Stephen Wander. I'm the author of Reverse Your Diabetes, Change Your Life. And my grandmother's story has helped me help over 200,000 people over the last 20 years of my medical career. Now, if I was sitting in a room full of diabetics, I would tell them that their treatment plan is this. I don't know if any of you are diabetic, but you go to the doctor does some blood work, you get a call a couple days later, and the doctor says, hey, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, we have your blood work back. We need to see you. And you can tell by the tone of the voice on the other end of the line, something is not good. So you go in and the doctor rips out the script pad and they says, Mrs. Jones, Mr. Jones, here, take this. And this is a drug that begins with M, ends with N, and sounds a whole lot like what? Well, if you were diabetics, you would know that that's Metformin. And then they would give you this great advice. And the advice would be, Mr. Jones, what you need to do is change your diet, lose weight, and exercise. Change your diet, lose weight, and exercise. Change your diet, lose weight, and exercise. And that will lead you, what used to be the 7th leading cause of death in the United States, to the 3rd. So you would start on Metformin, then they would give you one of the G drugs, glyburide, glimepiride, glipizide, Actos, Januvia, Farxiga, Jardiance, Invokana, and eventually the doctor waves his finger at you and says, Mr. Jones, you did not listen to that great advice I gave you of change your diet, lose weight, and exercise. Waves your finger and says, Mr. Jones, we now need to put you on insulin. And what I'm here to tell you is that type 2 diabetes is preventable, treatable, and reversible. And it's simple. Somebody told me a long time ago that if you think by taking medication that makes you healthy, that's the same type of knowledge that when you took out a loan, you think you're rich. It doesn't work. And so what happens is it goes from the 7th leading cause of death to the 3rd leading cause of death. And we know that about 55 to 60% of you are on what we call the diabetic cocktail. What is that? Blood sugar medication, blood pressure medication, and a cholesterol medication. And the problem is 50% of that 30-some% don't have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Let me say that again. You're on blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication and you don't have the problem. You got to listen to Pop. If you can't make it make common sense, it can't be true. And I'm here to tell you that it's preventable, reversible, and treatable. And when we pick the right patient for our program, we rarely see a patient fail. Yeah.